98.7 KSAM. It's the Huntsville Hornets Coaches Show with head coach Rodney Southern, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Now, here's Carlos Zimmerman and Brian Adams.
And a pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Chick-fil-A of Huntsville. How are we doing tonight? Give yourselves a round of applause. Thanks for joining us. It's the Hornet Nation Coaches Show as we are getting ready for a big week, taking on the Montgomery Bears here at the end of the week. But we're going to take a look back at this last week here throughout the show tonight. And joining us first here, y'all give it up for defensive line coach, Mr. Chris Smith. Y'all give it up for Chris. Coach, how are you, sir?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing very good. Glad to have you here. Second time here on the show, I believe, from
Correct.
last year. So just a little background on yourself. How long have you been here with the Hornets coaching?
This is my ninth year.
Ninth year.
Yeah.
So if I do my math correctly, forgive me, I was a mass comm major. 2015. Was your first,
like that.
Something
yeah.
like that. Cool. So talk a little bit about your football background, what got you into coaching and where you've been before, and what led you here to Huntsville.
So before I came to Huntsville, I was in Madisonville. Before I was in Madisonville, I was in Buffalo. Kind of just worked my way down the interstate. But kind of just like each place I was at, there was coaching changes within my first year, 2 years there. And when that happens, it's not good.
Right.
You don't want to stay for somebody that didn't hire you. That's kind
Sure.
of my philosophy.
Sure.
So I've been lucky at Huntsville. I've had a consistent leader and consistent coaching staff. So.
It's been a pretty exciting time this whole time you've been coaching here in Huntsville, for sure, huh?
Yeah, so my first year was on the freshman staff. That was when Tavondre was a sophomore. And then after that, I moved up and coached linebackers. I was 1 year on the freshman staff, then I moved up, coached linebackers, then changed to coaching D-line, and been here, like I said, so I've been coaching varsity here for 8 years.
You know what? It's got to make you feel good, Coach, to see your efforts, your fellow coaches' efforts, to see these teammates like T-Sweat grow up, come through the system, come through your program, and end up doing what they're doing. That's got to be a huge thing for coaches. But what was it about the D-line that excited you and got you into wanting to coach that particular position?
I mean, when I played O-line and D-line. I played at a small school, so we played both ways. But D-line was always a lot more fun. When I first started out teaching coaching in public school, I was still kind of like O-line and D-line, but then I finally just said, you know what, like I'm going to try to be concentrate on the defensive side of the ball, and that's what I went to. And I guess, just the aggression, the kids, really like anything on the defense side of the ball, like I like working with.
Nice.
So looking back to Friday night, obviously one of the most exciting games in this town's history, I would say. But what would you say is your assessment? What would you say is your assessment from Friday night for the Hornets?
It was a tough game. Like, it was a lot of fun, and it was super tough for me because I have a lot of family. Like, I'm not technically from PNG or Bowman area, but I have a lot of family and friends that are from the towns, like, right around PNG. So when we play them, it kind of feels personal. All my buddies are like, come on, beat the heck out of those guys. And so I always take that week personal, kind of like Dr. Shepard did, and apparently Tyler Smith felt pretty strongly about PNG as well. I feel like I guess I must have been coaching him for the last few years, and let him, in on my philosophy about PNG. But I felt like we played really good defensively at times, and I think I told the D-line beforehand, I said, it's okay to fail on a play, but it's not okay for us to fail on a series or throughout the game. And you got to keep playing. You got to make them keep snapping the ball. And honestly, I felt like we did that. They didn't have a lot of huge plays where they scored touchdowns, but unfortunately they did have some big plays in certain moments, and then even little calls that didn't go our way that I'll disagree with, but try to not focus on that.
Sure.
But yeah, it was just like when the defense was playing well, the offense struggled a little bit. And then when the offense got going, then there was times where the defense struggled. And it was that complementary football where sometimes we just weren't on the exact same page. But I would have compared to them scoring 50 the week before, us holding them to 24 and being as talented as they were, especially their quarterback and number 11, with that O-line in front of the quarterback, it was tough. And not to mention their running back was pretty dang good too.
Oh, yeah, definitely was. But now moving past P&G, looking at Montgomery, just some early onset thoughts about the Bears with another electric quarterback that y'all are going to be up against.
Yeah, so number 12, Reggie Williams, I think is his name. He's extremely talented, very fast and quick and just tough to tackle. And they got a new scheme on the offensive side of their ball. I say it's new. It's different than it's been the last couple of years. And even when we were doing well against them the last couple of years, from the defensive perspective, we had he was able to make some electric plays. And it was more of like they would drop back and he would kind of run. He would either scramble up the middle or run quarterback draws, and we had to account for him in that kind of like spread type of game. Now they have a lot more design quarterback runs for him, and they have a talented offensive line, talented running backs, and little receiver number 1 who's really electric. But they're definitely talented, and it's going to be another game where we have to, mind our responsibilities, keep our eyes where they're supposed to be, and just across, as far as the D-line perspective, just out-grit them, like have more grit than they got.
One of the things that Carlos and I see week in and week out, and the progression are getting better, is your defense is so aggressive and loves to hit, and that is such a beautiful thing to see, and I haven't seen it really to this level in such a long time. Can you explain what's gotten into these guys that are making them?
I mean, they love the game, and we have the athletes that we need to have in the places we need to have. Moving guys like Bug and Peyton and Braylon from the offensive side to the defensive side. Even Tyler Smith was an O-lineman halfway through his sophomore year. But having those guys and putting them in positions to be successful, and the fact that they love the game and that they have that violent nature to them. And, the kid that really to me has been, played out of this world is Brent Carroll.
Yeah.
He's, after the game, I was, giving my wife and daughters hugs, and he walked past, and my daughter said, "That's number 6? He's so little, and he'll hit anybody. He don't care." And I said, exactly. And when you have the little cornerbacks and safeties willing to hit, you can be a really good defense. And to me, that's the key to a solid defense, is having safeties, and in this case, corners. Because the way we play, we intentionally put Brent in position to be the force player, kind of like an outside linebacker a lot of times. We put them in positions to be successful, and we try to make it easy on them, and it allows them to play fast.
Well, I tell you, man, it is fun to watch, and we look over at the sidelines and see those players. They're excited, and those big hits, man, just keep them coming. But kind of switching back for you personally, what are some of the daily challenges you face as a coach each and every day when you come to work?
I guess it's a challenge, but it's just life as a coach. But, I'm not just a coach. I'm also teach, and I teach AP classes at the high school. I teach AP World History, and balancing that life. And I've taught it for a few years now, so it's not crazy. I've got a routine. I know what I'm going to do from, even the year before. But just balancing that, the teaching part of it and the coaching part is tough. And then at the same time, trying to keep track of your players, even, last week or the week before, you have grade reports coming up at the report card time. And, sometimes you're having to track certain players who are borderline. You're going to their teachers and talking to those teachers. And I even went and sat in a classroom during one of my off periods so that I could just say, I'm here to support you. from a coach to teacher relationship, and to let you know that anytime you have an issue with this kid, like I'm here for you and for him. And a lot of times, that helps out quite a bit, just having a good relationship. Like being here 9 years, and being a coach who teaches a tough subject, and if kids don't do what they're supposed to do in my class, it's not like they get a free pass.
Sure.
So because they chose to be in that advanced placement class. So I think that helps us as a coaching staff, and it helps us as a school, knowing that the coaches are there to support you.
And you guys wear so many different hats, throughout the day. As you just said, you're a coach, you're a teacher, counselor, cheerleader. I mean, you're everything to these guys and girls.
And my son's a sophomore.
And you got a kid in school?
He plays for us, and
wow.
He's actually in my class. It's kind of a unique situation.
Sure, that's an odd dynamic for you.
He hates it, I think. But
He hates it.
Well, Coach Smith, before we let you go, is there like a message for the fans listening as we get ready for this road game on Friday that you want to just put out there for all the people?
I mean, I appreciate the support that we had this past Friday night, and even though we didn't come out on top, we still really need your support, and these more than me needing your support. These kids, these football players, these 15, 16-year-olds need your support and the community's love, and to pack the stands, whether we're on the road or at home. I mean, Montgomery's not a far drive. I mean, go have a date in Conroe and then come over to Montgomery and support these kids, because they need your support. They need to know that even though we're coming off a loss, that the fans are still there for us and supporting us and going to do whatever to help them be successful.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, on behalf of Chick-fil-A and us at KSAM, we appreciate everything you do, and token of their appreciation for what you do for our kids.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Y'all give it up for Coach, D-line Coach Chris Smith. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Coach.
We'll step aside and take a break here on the Coach's Show. Coming up next, instead of a teacher spotlight, we have a trainer's spotlight here today. Head athletic trainer Brian Parker is next on the Hornet Nation Coach's Show.
There's nothing sweeter than a baby's giggle. Fill your Wednesdays and smiles for miles at toddler time from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. at Chick-fil-A of Huntsville. Bring your 2 to 5-year-olds for crafts and guest appearances. It's toddler time every Wednesday morning at 9:30 only at Chick-fil-A Huntsville. Find out more on the Chick-fil-A of Huntsville Facebook page or through the events calendar on the Chick-fil-A Huntsville website. See you there.
Your brand is your business. Shop local with Advantage Specialties, where you will get service with a personal touch. Hello, I'm Stephanie Pitts, owner and operator of Advantage Specialties. Advantage Specialties offers screen printing and embroidery on site. Let Advantage Specialties get you ready for your next event with cups, apparel, caps, pins, and everything else you could need. Go to AdvantageSpecialties.com or call our team at 936-291-3222 to start that order now. Sting 'em Hornets!
Hello, welcome back here on the Hornet Nation Coaches Show as we continue on here this evening. If I could have my wonderful assistant here, Emma, stand up, as we have a big giveaway we're going to give away tonight. We have one of our T-shirts that are going to be given away at the last home game of the season. So if you are here in-house tonight, feel free to drop your name in the hopper. Come fill out your name, and we will give the shirt away at the end of the show. So do so, please, as we continue along here this evening. All right. Normally, this is where we have our teacher's spotlight, but now we do not have a teacher with us tonight. Well, he's a teacher in a different way, I'll say that. It's our trainer's spotlight tonight. Y'all give it up for head athletic trainer Brian Parker.
Thank you.
Brian, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Have we had you on the show before? I can't recall.
No, sir.
First timer. All right. So time to grill, as we would say here at Chick-fil-A. Nah, I'm kidding. So how long have you been here in Huntsville in general?
In general, I came here in 2001 to get my master's at SAM, but I've been the head athletic trainer at Huntsville for 18 years now.
18 years.
Wow.
Quite a long time. So talk about your time at Sam Houston. I'm sure you did a lot of your I mean, that's where you got your start. So just talk about that time there and what led you to join the Huntsville ranks.
I went to Sam Houston to get my master's degree because that was the furthering part after I got my bachelor's degree in athletic training. And then after that, I spent a year at East Texas Medical working as an outreach athletic trainer, 3 years at Livingston as the head athletic trainer, and then now 18 years here at Huntsville.
There you go, BA.
So, Brian, if you could kind of share with the audience what goes on your daily routine there at school if you're not on the football field and or on a basketball court. What does your day look like?
Well, I'm very fortunate is we get to touch every program. So we don't do just football, we do all of our sports. And so we have our first and second period athletics, which is football, varsity, JV, freshman, and then basketball is also first and second period. And then seventh and eighth period is our rest of our athletic periods. So that's we take care of them. In between there, we're either trying to talk to doctors for, figure out what's going on with athletes. We're trying to get physicals for kids, trying to get people cleared so they can play their sports so that we can do all that. Or we're doing rehab, trying to get them better so that if they don't miss as much time as they may have to, trying to get them ready back out there on the court or the field as quickly as we can.
So you're not just hanging out reading a magazine all day long and waiting.
No, sir. We get asked that question a lot. What do we do?
Well, that's
and
good.
so it's pretty busy.
It sounds busy.
I think they keep y'all pretty busy over there. You're obviously not alone on your staff. You have a great support staff behind you, Sean Matthews, Rebecca Gonzalez, along with all your student trainers.
Correct.
As well. And every time I go out to practice, you're always saying, it was like, hey, go this way. Hey, go this way. And it was like, what are you doing? Or something like that. Just talk about your experiences, not only with your colleagues, but with your student trainers as well.
I have been very fortunate. Sean Matthews has gone on 12 years now at Huntsville, and Rebecca is going on 9. So I have been very fortunate to have them be with me for as long as they have because we know each other. We know how we like to do things. And so it's easier for us to do our job because everybody knows what we're doing. And then this year, I believe we have 24 student trainers.
24.
We have 24.
Wow.
And so we have them out there. Everybody works football season. And so they all work football. Then after that, they get split up to other sports.
Wow.
So when you come out there, there's 24 of them running around there.
Well, when I go to practices, I knew there were a lot out there, but I didn't think 24. I thought maybe even half of that, and we're managing everything out there. But I know there's a lot of, there's some that are assigned to certain coaching staffs, and so make sure they're hydrated, and obviously the players too. So, no, that's awesome. When we normally have our teachers in the spotlight right here, I mean, like I said, I know you're a teacher in a different way from the athletic training side, but where do you feel like you see the payoff in your day-to-day job?
We see the payoff in, for one, getting kids back out to the field because nobody wants to be injured. Nobody wants to come into the athletic training room. And we understand that because if you're coming in there, it's usually not a good thing. So just getting to see an athlete go from not being able to do their sport at all to working them back, to seeing them achieve and strive at their sport, that's one of the best things to do is to watch them go back out there and be able to do what they love to do.
Absolutely. Now, we had your son, Brian Parker Jr., who's in the house here with us this evening as well. He just glared at me when I said that. But when we had him on, I asked him, or both of us asked him, I was like, what was it like to have, with your dad on the sideline? So I'm going to flip that to you, being able to not only just be training out there with your son, but getting to have that experience at the same time, not really missing much of his high school career.
It's kind of similar to what he said. It's a blessing and it's a curse all at the same time. Because it's a blessing is I get to see everything. I do now. Growing up, middle school and even sub-varsity stuff, there's some stuff I could get to, some stuff I couldn't, based because of my job.
Sure.
But now I get to watch it every day. But he has me watching him every day, which, Brian has a son. If you're out there at football practice every day, you see the good stuff, but you also see the stuff that they need to work on. Mm-hmm. And so he gets to hear that not only from his coaches, but he hears it from me as well. And so that's kind of the curse part for him, and you never want to see your kid fail.
Sure.
But football, every time you snap that ball, you can fail or succeed. So it's a curse because then I also have to relive all that as it's going on as well. But the blessing is we get to spend all this time together, and the good times are even better because we're both right there together. Plus, his sister is on the field with us too.
Yep.
So all three of us are out there with each other, be able to share those experiences together, while mom has to sit up in the stands and be a nervous wreck.
You know, one of the really cool things for me, since you did mention my son, when we moved back to Huntsville 12 years ago, I met Rodney Southern right off the bat. First 2 minutes, I knew coming back here was the place to be. But I want any of the mom and dads that are listening out there tonight to know that your son or daughter, no matter what, if they're playing an athletic event or anything like that, they're going to be well taken care of by Brian and his staff and Sean and those guys, because I've known you ever since Jake was going through school. Not a better bunch of people, and they're going to be very well coached, and that, to me, as a parent, is the most exciting thing there is.
Absolutely.
So we
I appreciate
that. So.
Thank you.
So I now want to mention, I mentioned Brian, I want to mention your daughter, McKenna, right? Not only on your athletic training staff, but she's going to be going out for softball in the spring as well. So, and now just fresh to high school. So talk about that dynamic from that perspective, you know, training her as an athletic trainer, but then getting to watch her on the softball field come spring.
Well, it'll be a good thing getting to watch that, because just to watch her grow in it, because she's played softball. I mean, we have travel ball for always now, and so she's played since she's about 8 or 9. So just watching her just develop and do that, and now get to put on the green and white, is just going to be great to be able to go out there and watch her play for her town. You know, they've both been here almost their whole time, and so just to grow up with that, they've always wanted to be Hornets and compete. So it'd be nice to see her be able to do that, as well as her is always watching her brother do it. Now she gets a chance to.
Absolutely, absolutely. I do want you mentioned your wife, Hope. Such a sweetheart. I'll just say that. She's always so kind. I saw her out at Fair on the Square on Saturday, and I think it was so hot out there on Saturday, and she was just off to the side just chowing down on something when I caught her, and she was like, "You caught me at a bad time, Carlos." But anyway, how big, obviously, how big is that for, just to have such a wonderful woman in your corner to be able to, help you through this thing called life and everything on the daily?
Well, the great part about it is she's an athletic trainer also. And so the time demands that this job takes, she totally understands, because she's doing it as well. And so that's also been able to go home and talk about it. So we can bounce ideas off each other, or just go home and just vent.
Sure.
And the other person understands where you're coming from, because they've also been there. And so we've gone through our whole professional career being married, and so having another athletic trainer there is a great thing. So,
Absolutely.
So just understanding everything that each one of us has gone through.
Brian, any final thoughts for Brian?
Well, Brian, no, we just appreciate you more than you know. And I know these kids, like I said just a second ago, are going to be well cared for if they need attention or things like that. Brian is doing one heck of a job on the O-line, and watching him grow and improve has been very exciting for us, and I'm sure for you too. And I can only imagine when you guys get home at night, do y'all talk football at all? Or do y'all?
Yes.
Okay, figured as much. But we appreciate everything you guys do, and thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. And on behalf of Chick-fil-A, this is for you, sir.
Thank you.
And we just thank you again for everything that you do for these students and everything you do. It does not go unseen.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Y'all give it up for head athletic trainer Brian Parker. All right, after this quick message from KSAM, we will pivot to our player spotlight. Joining us first, he had a big night on Friday, 2 touchdowns on the night. Senior wide receiver Savion Conte is next on the Hornet Nation Coaches Show.
Hey, it's Brian from the KSAM Wake Up Morning Show, and Saturday nights are better at Margaritaville Lake Resort on Lake Conroe. Join the fun at the It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere concert series. The series is free, and it's live, and it's outside on the St. Somewhere Spa lawn. So bring your blanket, your lawn chair, or reserve your place on the party barge. This Saturday night, it's Gary, Kyle, and the Kin in concert beginning at 5 o'clock.
I wish to put the honky-tonk back in the honky-tonk.
Get your free tickets online at KSAM1017.com, and while you're there, enter the drawing to win a 2-night stay in a tower suite at Margaritaville Lake Resort, Lake Conroe. It's 5 o'clock somewhere with Margaritaville Lake Resort and 101.7 KSAM.
Taylor claps, gets the snap, feels the pressure coming, left wide open over the middle, Savion Conte, 45-50, 45-40, 35-30, house call number 1, Savion Conte, 92 yards, and we're an extra point away from being tied. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, that got me and Brian. I think we almost leaped out of our seats when that play happened. Welcome back on the Hornet Nation Coaches Show as we continue along here tonight. Time to dive into our player spotlight. Joining us first, number 1 himself, senior wide receiver Savion Conte. Savion, how are you, sir?
I'm good, and you?
I'm very well. Thank you for coming on once again. I think 3 years in a row now we've had you on, or is this just the second year we've had you on?
Second.
Second year, but welcome back. Just start off, thoughts on the season so far from your perspective and where you think the team is at halfway through?
I think we're really good. Like Coach Southern said, I think we can win state. And I'm seeing it now. Well, I seen it last year too, but last year we were seeing it through him. Now we just played that game versus PNG, the former state winners.
Yep.
And we could have had it. We could have beat them by double digits.
With the way y'all played, I thought so too.
Yes, sir. We just got to fix and minimize mistakes. We'll be a great football team.
Savion, you had a heck of a ball game Friday night, man. That long touchdown pass, when you caught that and you were off to the races, what were you thinking anything at all? Were you thinking just run, legs, run? What were you thinking, man?
Don't get caught again.
Don't get caught.
Don't get caught again. Man, I don't think anybody was going to catch you. I mean, that was a beautiful pass, a beautiful catch. And, Carlos and I, we are so fortunate and so lucky that we get to watch you guys play. And y'all are playing at such a good level. Yeah, did it end like we wanted to Friday? Nope. But I tell you what you guys are doing is going to pay off in the long run. And it's evident. So just don't stop doing it, man.
Yes, sir.
What else was going through your mind when you were breaking out for that big run besides don't get caught? Because I know they were right on your heels. Just take it to the house. That was it.
Be humble.
Be humble.
Yeah.
That's the right attitude to have.
Yeah, and I almost got a flag last game for the celebration. So
You got to be smart.
yes, sir.
You got to be smart.
And you have been, and I'm proud of that. That second touchdown you had, though, I want to talk about that. It was a little bit, not swept under the rug, but me and Brian were blown away for a second because when we went to commercial break, we took our headset off, and it was like, I thought that guy was going to get picked off. You snatched it and then spun around and took it to the house. Just what was going through your mind there on such a short pass play, knowing you needed to take it in?
I was in the zone. I really wasn't thinking. I was just playing.
Just playing ball.
Yes, sir.
That's all you can ask for at the end of the day. So you guys have had 2 tough losses this year. I mean, there's no doubting that. Brenham and then the one on Friday.
Yes, sir.
What, as a senior, and I know you've had these experiences, just how do you learn from those tough losses?
I mean, Brenham, that game didn't hurt us, so it was just a test. PNG, it was a test as well, but it counts on our district record. But it let us know something with that game being played. We can win state.
Yeah.
Who did they play? South Oak Cliff.
Mhm.
They had a close game. Beat them by a point or something.
It was tight.
We can beat PNG by some points.
Sure.
I think if we got a really good offense this year, it's not just defense being very productive, it's offense as well. So I think whoever come out the other side of the bracket they're gonna have a bad team to deal with. They play us.
There you go.
You know what? I don't think anybody wants any part of you guys, and I'm sure PNG doesn't want any part of you guys ever again. Man, just what a crazy ball game. You've been with Coach Parnham for, 3 years now?
Yes, sir. Or 4.
For 4 years now?
Yeah.
What is the biggest takeaway that you can take from him as a coach?
He's a coach that's during the week, he going to grind on you a lot, but he mean the best for you. It'll boost your confidence a lot when he tell you, you got good hands or, he believe in us, he trust in us and all that. And last year we had a good blocking receiver core, but this year, we be making a lot of plays, and it just feel good. After some of the losses, it wasn't really anything he could say we did bad. We blocked great. We do that day in. So he's a good
motivator.
Yes, sir. And I think I'll see something like that in college. I feel like a lot of high schools gonna teach their receivers to block like we do. You don't see some people walk off the ball.
Right.
But we playing every second of the down. No plays off.
See, one thing people may not realize out there is that one block may be all it takes to do whatever.
And don't let you be the one on film. Oh, man.
Well, if you are that one on film, what happens?
One time, I was going against Boss in practice, and Boss ran. He gave me a good lick and got the tackle. He said, Coach Parton said, who's the man and who's the woman?
Well,
I'm sure that put a lot of things in perspective for you.
And everybody laughed.
well, that's good. I'm glad that you're getting that kind of teaching from this level because blocking is basic football. It doesn't matter if you're a wide out, quarterback, whatever. That one block may be the key. So that's outstanding, man.
Absolutely.
I think he's a really good coach. Being that he old school and then, we learn a lot off the internet, it just, you mix it and you can make it, you can make a great player out with that. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So I want to talk about that. You mentioned it, mixing with the new guys, a lot of good blocking from the wide receivers. You add Jabari Washington along with, you come back over with Josh Stanley and Hunter. Just talk about that chemistry you guys have been able to build, even with the newer guys in the receiving corps.
Me and Jabari grew up together, so we always had chemistry. And then he's 6'5", so I see a lot in him, and I know what he can do. So I hope he just lock in and start having real good nights. Because me and him on two different sides, they can't double us both.
Nope.
Then Hunter, I think Hunter got the best hands in our grade. So he don't have to be that fast. Hunter can catch the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Stanley, I always saw it in Stanley. I told him he was going to be good. He's fast. If Stanley catch the ball, he going to go score.
Absolutely.
I told them before the game started, if they catch the ball, they going to go score. But it was me. But I saw us receivers having a big game that game. And Coach Parham did too. He always told us it's going to come a game where we going to have to win or, compete through the passing because it's going to be a time where the run game gets stopped. If they fill the box and we can't throw the ball, it's going to be a long night.
Yep.
So I really like our receiver corps this year.
And so do we. I've never seen this kind of talent in the skill level positions at a high school level in a long time. And you guys are absolutely loaded.
I think we lost Milton, and he was, very shifty and great at changing direction. But we make up with speed and, just getting open as well. But I don't think we have that right now. A receiver who can be as in and out and as fast as quick as him. He wasn't that fast, but he was very quick. I'll be trying to work on it, but it's hard to get there.
That's going to be you. That is you.
So
you kind of heard what happened last week when we asked your teammate what he thought about when he heard the words P&G. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to ask you that question. When you hear the word Montgomery Bears, what comes to mind first?
Montgomery. Last year, I don't doubt anybody. I won't put nothing past nobody, but I don't know actually.
So they're 5-0.
Yeah.
And you guys are going to their house, and you're going to disappoint them largely.
I think that safety is cocky, and he played with a swag. That's cool. I play with a swag. That's cool. But I think he's very cocky. Once we put one on him, he gonna
now
relax all that.
Nice.
Love that. Nice. I love that attitude. Just being able to do what you do. Do what you do best. And
I don't think they really played too much good people. They played my former teammate DeMarcus Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I seen that game. I wasn't really impressed on nothing they really did. There was a lot of missed tackles and stuff like that. Just like we saw with the previous game before.
Westford.
PNG. Yeah, a lot of missed tackles. So teams like that, we just got to play our game. Yeah, they do got they got a big head right now because they're undefeated, but they didn't go through what we went through. We played PNG, Brenham, some top teams, some teams with really good players. And you said, how do I look into going?
Yeah,
PNG?
Because last week we talked about, I asked your teammate, when he heard PNG, what was his first thoughts? And
PNG.
And he wasn't real pleased with the words PNG.
I actually was happy. I would wish it was later in the season, but I was happy. Because I feel like if we played Brenham later in the season, we would have beat them as well. But PNG, I don't get nervous So, but I really wanted to get back. I cried after the game.
It was an emotional ball game, wasn't it?
It was.
I mean, for he and I too, and we don't even play. It just, but we feel it.
It was fun, like
you
Coach
guys.
Southern said, though. He was telling us just have fun. So when you're just having fun, you don't really get nervous. You know, you just playing ball. So.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, Savion, before we let you go, just what's the message to Hornet Nation out there getting ready for this ball game against Montgomery?
Stay humble. Keep trusting in God. Do you?
Do you?
Do you?
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Love that.
Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go as well?
My parents, my pastor, Timothy O'Brien, my church, my family, my girlfriend, her family, my sister. I love you.
There you go. All right, y'all give it up for wide receiver Savion Conte joining us tonight. We will step aside and take a break. We'll pivot to his teammate, former wide receiver turned safety Peyton Pryor, is next on the Hornet Nation Coaches Show.
Tim Rushing here with Charlie's Used Cars. If you have not been by to see the great selection of quality pre-owned vehicles we have in stock, do yourself a favor and come see us at 230 I-45 South in Huntsville. Charlie's Used Cars is a family-owned and operated business serving the auto needs for 50 years with superior customer service. Besides quality vehicles, Charlie's also has a service center where we can help with your auto repair needs and routine service and state inspections. Come by and see us or visit us online at charliesusedcars.com. Charlie's Used Cars, 230 I-45 South in Huntsville. Come see us.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. You can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Diana K. Barnes, right here in Huntsville, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Diana and her team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. Just give her a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Hornet Nation Coaches Show. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we got our hopper over here, and it's looking pretty lonely. Get your names into the hat for the T-shirt we're going to give away here at the end of the night here today. All right, joining us now, y'all give it up for senior safety, Mr. Peyton Pryor. Peyton, how are you, my man?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing well. Glad to have you. Is this your first time on the show?
Yes,
All right,
sir.
welcome. First timer. All right, like I said with Coach earlier, time to drill the hard questions. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, so just halfway through this season, just how are you feeling so far about the team?
I feel good about the team. You know, we've been doing our thing. We moved a couple guys from offense, like me, Braylon, and we've been doing great.
So, I mean, let me ask you. I mean, that's such a big transition. You go from wide receiver, you played that spot for a couple of years, then you moved to safety. Just talk about that transition and how it's been easy or hard.
It's been kind of hard learning the plays, but I got used to it fast. But yeah, on the wide receiver part, it was smooth.
Real smooth. It's good.
So not a whole lot of learning curves. Is that kind of what you're?
No, sir, it wasn't.
Okay. Well, you had a great game on Friday as well. What was the biggest challenge P&G brought to you that you think will help you grow as the season goes on?
They pass game. It wasn't that hard, but I think I made it hard on myself.
And why is that?
Because, like, some plays, I think I wasn't focused. Like, on that one pass, it was a post, and I undercut it. I could have had that pick, and he caught the ball, gave up a big play.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what Coach Southern really preaches, just don't give up the big play. But, hey, that's why you play those games, so you can learn from those mistakes. Who really gives you the drive to be the best player you can be? Who inspires you to be able to be such a great player?
My mama, she pushes me every day about how going to college. She want me to go to college for football, but I don't want to go to college for football. I want to go to college, high school, college radio.
Okay.
I want to go to Charlotte.
Oh, wow. So you like, so you're a rodeoer?
Yes, sir. I ride bulls.
You ride bulls?
Well, I used to ride bulls.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Could not have
Gotta
been
love
me.
the coaches show. Find out all kinds of new things.
Yeah, that's right.
That's cool.
That's right. How excited are you for this second half of the season? Now that you say that, I mean, you're not as focused on playing football in college, and so just trying to enjoy this senior year. So what excites you about the second half coming up?
Just finish the season off with my teammates and all the senior players.
It's awesome. Where do you feel like you've grown the most? Your first year on varsity was it your sophomore year?
Yeah, it was my sophomore year.
Okay, so where do you feel like you've grown the most from that time to today?
It was through my junior year. Doing summer workouts.
Okay.
Going into my junior year.
So how do you feel like you've grown since that point?
I don't even know.
You just been the guy.
Yeah.
Been the guy.
Well, you're super talented, super fast, and so much fun to watch. What are Peyton? What are some of your goals after high school? Now, you just talked about rodeo. What maybe beyond that are you looking to do?
I was looking into real estate and other stuff like that. Yeah, I wanted to be a real estate agent because my Amy, she do it, and I can easily get put on with her, and she can help me out.
That's a wonderful profession too.
Yes.
Very good profession. The harder you work, the more money you're going to make.
That's right.
But that's true with anything.
That's right. What do you do off the field when you're just relaxing at home, hanging with the guys? Just what do you enjoy doing?
Sometimes I watch film, but if not, I just go. I go to the country, ride horses, and go fishing, stuff like that.
Wow.
Can't blame you there.
As a guy this guy lives out in the.
I love those things too.
Yes.
We have that in common.
Absolutely. You got two younger teammates at corner, Brent Carroll and Trey Scott. Just what kind of impact do you hope to leave on them as they get ready for their senior year next year?
Really, just go out there and keep doing the same thing that they've been doing because they both been working hard, putting in the work. Like Trey, I think he got 5 picks now. He's been doing his thing, and Brent, he's been doing his thing too, making big plays.
That's good. Do you watch sports when just college sports, pro sports?
I watch college football.
College football. Who's your favorite?
Ohio State.
Ohio State. OH. No one gets it. All right, there we go. But you love the Buckeyes. What about the Buckeyes?
Jeremiah Smith.
Jeremiah Smith, okay.
Talented.
Very talented. He's a very talented player. And they're doing pretty good right now, given how the rest of the top 25 this week decided to not show up. So I think that's what's got them. I think they're number 1 now because of all those losses. So pretty good football team. NFL? Any NFL? No. Nah. All about the college. If there were an NFL team, who would you gravitate to?
The Ravens.
The Ravens, okay. Big Lamar Jackson guy? Okay.
And Derrick Henry.
Oh.
Well, he's unbelievable.
I watched him yesterday, and for one, he's on 2 of my fantasy teams, so he got me a lot of points. But no, he's a wrecker of men, as they would say. What are you looking forward to the rest of your senior year coming up? Even off the field, homecoming, prom, classes.
I don't even think I'm not going to prom. I don't think, but
why not?
I don't know. I went last year. It was kind of boring.
Well, you only have one more the rest of your life. You should go.
Yeah, it was kind of boring.
Apologize to whoever, if there's someone listening that managed the prom. But hey, everyone's got that's good though. I didn't. I went to a tiny private school, so we didn't have a prom. But no, go enjoy it. But before we let you go, do you have any big message to Hornet Nation for this ball game on Friday?
Just go out there and kill, dominate.
There you go. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you
go? My whole family, Coach Southern, Brazil, just my whole team.
There it is. Y'all give it up for senior safety Peyton Pryor. Peyton, appreciate you, my man. All right, we'll step aside and take a break, and we will turn it over to the head honcho, head coach Rodney Southern, who's next on the Hornet Nation Coaches Show.
There's nothing sweeter than a baby's giggle. Fill your Wednesdays and smiles for miles at toddler time from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. at Chick-fil-A of Huntsville. Bring your 2 to 5-year-olds for crafts and guest appearances. It's toddler time every Wednesday morning at 9:30 only at Chick-fil-A Huntsville. Find out more on the Chick-fil-A of Huntsville Facebook page or through the events calendar on the Chick-fil-A Huntsville website. See you there.
Don't get stung having the wrong insurance coverage. Switch to AIM Agencies. AIM Agencies reviews your needs, then researches quality independent insurance providers to secure you affordable, dependable protection for your home, car, or boat. And here's the best part. You'll work with a real person who listens and will help you protect what's important. It's easy to stop overpaying. Contact David Beatty today at AIM Agencies for local personal service. AIM Agencies, the right coverage at the right price. AIMAgencies.com.
London Nunley and company back deep to receive this kick from Caleb Kulak. Oh, it's going to be a fake here with Hunter Lorenz. He's got a first down and more. Up the far side, 25-20. Wow! Rodney went to the bag of tricks and came out with a rabbit. Holy cow, what a call. Hunter Lorenz takes the fake punt around the right side. First down, Huntsville. Huge play. Well, guys, there was a reason why I wanted to play that there, because that's one of the gutsiest play calls I have seen in a long, long time, especially in that moment. So we welcome you back here on the Coach's Show here at Chick-fil-A of Huntsville. I want to y'all give a big round of applause for the folks here at Chick-fil-A. They've been so gracious to us throughout these few weeks and just been absolutely wonderful hosts here this evening and every week going forward. All right, y'all give it up for head coach Rodney Southern joining us here tonight on the Coach's Show. Y'all come on. Coach, how are you, sir?
I'm good.
As always, just a quick opening statement from the ball game against P&G, and then looking forward to Montgomery this week.
Well, I'm glad you played that fake punt. That was an exciting play of the game, but it was something I felt like at that point we'd been waiting on the right look, and we got the right look, and Hunter did a really good job. Braylon Phelps did a really good job of stepping in, and the guy that we thought would go across the formation did, and made a big play, and, of course, we ended up getting points out of that. But, it's a tough game to swallow. You want to win, especially when you play the number one team in the state, and you play them as tough as we played them. You're disappointed, you're upset, you're irritated, you have multiple emotions. And I told the team afterwards, that's the first time Caleb has had a field goal that long, and watching it on film, seeing where it hit on the upright, it would have probably been good from 50. So that gives me the confidence now to know that we've got a kid that can do that. Disappointed for him that, a play that ends a ball game basically. But overall I was proud of our football team. I was proud of our program. I was really proud of our community, how we handled the whole day in terms of the crowd and all the things that go on behind the scenes that nobody knows about. I was proud of all that. I was proud of the way that I think this community saw another side of some of our people the other night, which I think is good. And they may have seen another side of me because I kind of lost it there a little while and got up on the bench and told them to get up and make some noise because, these kids deserve that. You're there to support. You're there to be a fan. You're there to do all those things. And when kids need you, you need to step up.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Coach, Carlos and I were locked, step, and barrel every second of that ball game. And I want to just say you made a point a while ago that you were so proud of how Huntsville handled the crowd, the people not actually playing the football game, just the town itself welcoming P&G into town. I must have had 3 or 4 people from P&G come up to me before the ball game, after the ball game, talking about how nice the hospitality was, how professional everything was, and that's just a testament to you and the school district and everything like that. So thank you for that, Coach.
Well, and that goes a long way. I mean, people don't realize, take away all the sub-varsity games. This is only the 5th game we've played in our new stadium. And when I say us, I'm talking about the types of games that we've had. The opener, you're obviously going to get a big crowd. We had a big crowd the other night. We'll probably have a big crowd for homecoming. But, you don't look at those things sometimes because people don't realize all the people that are behind the scenes, concessions and workers, parking attendants, all the stuff that goes along with having your own place. And those things are really good, but it's a lot of work and it's a lot of pre-work to be ready for something like that. And obviously, you know, when you get a team ranked like that and the defending state champion, you want to make sure your stuff is buttoned up and in order, and I thought we did that really well.
Well, I totally agree with you, Coach. Looking back on Friday night, if you could put your finger on the difference in that ball game, what, if anything, would it be?
Well, I don't know if it was a difference. I think the key thing for me is this, and it's why I put the Why Not Us 188 out a long time ago. We've got a really good football team. We have got a great group of young people who I think love the game now, because you have to love this. What we do every day and what I demand and what our coaches demand, you got to love it. And there are a lot of good football teams that don't love football, but there aren't very many great football teams that don't love football. And I think our program, from workers to Brian and our training staff and all the people that are involved in our program collectively, I think they understand and they realize. And, yeah, we've got some tough ones. This one coming up is going to be just as tough as P&G because of who we're playing, where we're playing, and the things that we've got to do. But I think our program has taken such a big step, and obviously new facilities adds the extra piece to that. I told these guys at the beginning of the year, there's, in my opinion, in any business, there's 10 things you got to have, and I would say today we have all 10 of them. And now you got to go win games, and you got to win games like we played the other night, and we didn't win it, but like I told them Saturday, after it's over Saturday, it's over, and we got to move on to the next one.
Coach, Montgomery's 5-0 to open this season. Is this something that you and your staff were kind of expecting out of the Bears going into the season?
Well, you know, I don't look real close at people's non-district schedule, especially after a realignment year, because you really don't know what – I mean, I know what Grant Cooper's doing over there, and I know he's doing the right things. I have a lot of respect for him. You know, he was with John Bofine over there for a long time, so he's seen it done right, and I think he's done it right. I think they're a lot like us now. They're pretty senior laden. The quarterback has been a 3-year starter. They've got really good people in really good positions. I think the other night they shocked Lake Creek early. I mean, it was 29-0 at the half. So I think that game got away from Lake Creek pretty quick. But the quarterback made probably, 5 big plays, 3 of them for touchdowns that, you know, if you don't get him on the ground, he's going to hurt you.
One thing that stood out to me from Friday night, and I think it says a lot about your team, Coach, after Caleb missed that kick, and obviously he's obviously distraught about it, but everyone rallied around him right there at the end, patting him on the back, saying, hey, don't let that get to you. What does that say about your team?
Well, I think this group of kids, if you took them individually and took them in a room by themselves, most of them would say something good about some of their other teammates. Or I would hope they'd say good things about our program, good things about our coaches. You know, Caleb's never been in that situation. And, you know, did it bother me when it hit the upright? Yeah, because I knew what his intent was when he walked out on the field. So does that surprise me? No, it doesn't surprise me, because I know what these kids have invested in this. I know what I personally have invested in it and what our coaches have invested in it. So does it surprise me? No, it doesn't.
Coach, Friday night there was a few really costly penalties. So cleaning up the mistakes from last game, what have y'all stressed to the team about some of those penalties, if anything?
Well, the big thing is if it extends a drive, it's a backbreaker. And, you know, and again, you look at penalties and different officiating crews call it different. This crew is very critical, and it's not a bad thing. It's the way they call games. They threw, I think, 16 penalties. We had 7. P&G had 9. So most people would think because 2 of ours were personal fouls, people think we had more penalties. Well, we didn't. We had penalties in some critical situations that, one of them takes away an interception. Well, that changes the dynamic of the whole third quarter probably. You tell them about it. We have a plan to win board, and one of the things on there is the penalty list. And if it extends a drive or if it's a false start that is something that's out of your control or is in your control, then you got to clean that stuff up. Now, if it's effort, if it's holding, sometimes things are going to happen. You could call holding every play of a high school or a college football game.
Sure. Looking at Montgomery defensively, what's some things that stand out to you that your offense is going to have to deal with?
Well, I think they've kind of settled. Early in the year, they were in a true 3-down front. About 2 games in, they started kind of working in some 4-down linemen. I think they've kind of sold out to that now. I think they're more confident in it. I think their back 7 guys are more comfortable in it. They do a lot more stuff in the secondary than we've seen the last few weeks. There's some cover 2, there's some press coverage, there's some coverage where they zone out of it. They've got linebackers involved. They're not afraid to blitz. They'll twist a lot up front now, especially with the 4-down linemen. So I think they've finally gotten comfortable. Now, they may come out in a 3-down line front against us. People sometimes do things different against us, obviously, because of our run game. But I think the big thing is for them, and I told the kids this morning, they're playing with confidence. And at the high school level, when you're confident, you always got a chance.
Well, absolutely. And you can see the confidence level in this team is absolutely through the roof. And I've said it several times. It just reminds me back in our old playing days when we knew when we go out there we were going to beat whoever it was. And I see the same thing in this team here. Keys to victory Friday night, Coach?
Well, the number one thing is we got to get number 12 on the ground. Like I said, he's made big plays against everybody. He had 3 touchdowns against Lake Creek, 2 of them, nobody put a hand on him. And he made 2 big plays last year against us. One of them was 73 yards. The other one was 46 or 47. So he's going to get some plays. You got to get him on the ground. And then we've got to be better in the run game than we were the other night. I think number one, it helped us because we did throw the ball and get P&G off of us a little bit. But we've got to get back and we've got to be able to run the football the way we always do. But one thing, we got to get number 12 on the ground because he is a true difference maker because he's so fast.
Right. And then, Coach, last thing for you, it's only a 45-minute drive down to Montgomery. Just do you have a message out there to Hornet Nation and the fans about this ball game on Friday? Because it's got a lot of magnitude to it.
Yeah. Well, I sent an email today to all of Huntsville ISD about last week and thank them for whatever role they had. And I just hope these people understand that these kids need – number one, they need your body there. Whether you're there to support a specific kid or you're just there as a fan, there's a lot of football left, but this one is critical. And the next one will be critical, and so will the next one. But this one is critical because of where it is and what the location is. And obviously, at this point, they're 5-0. I think Dave Campbell's has got them number 10 now. They're playing with confidence, and we've got to go shut that down and figure out a way to win a ball game.
That's right. All right, y'all give it up for head coach Rodney Southern.
Thank you.
Coach, appreciate you as always.
No problem.
We'll step aside and take one more break. We'll set you up for the ball game coming up this Friday after this on the Hornet Nation Coaches Show.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. You can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Diana here in Huntsville can switch you over so you can saving today. Diana and her team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. Just give her a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but Sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game, so I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Texas at highschoolofficials.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to wrap up the show here this evening. Want to let you know if you are unable to make it to Montgomery, we want to see you down there in Montgomery, though. I always enjoy the Montgomery games, Brian, because we're always in the stands with you guys during the Montgomery games. I don't know why we don't get in the press box, but honestly, I like it down there in the stands, getting them in the mix to all the action.
We're all in the middle of them, too, aren't we?
Then we also got to watch ourselves if we,
we
get a little too crazy. But we hope to have you join us in Montgomery, but if you can't, we'll have the broadcast right here on KSAM and on the KSAM YouTube channel. Pre-game at 6:15, kickoff at 7. Myself, Brian, and Houston will have the call. All right, we had one winner. He's already got his fist up in the air. Julian Casanova, you are the winner of our shirt. Come on up here. We'll get your picture taken. Congratulations, my man. And that is all for us here tonight. We thank you so much for joining us here in the house, here at the Hornet Nation Coaches Show at Chick-fil-A of Huntsville. Again, a big thank you to our friends here at Chick-fil-A. I want to thank my man Damian Smith. He's here on a sprained ankle here tonight, running the dials for us here in the house. So he's working injured, and I hate to do that to him, but we're thankful for what you do, Damian. Justin Hardcastle running the dials back at the studio, and, of course, Emma Sims and our general manager, Tim Johnson, joining us tonight. All right, we'll see you back here next week as we'll get ready for homecoming, ladies and gentlemen. So be here next week at Chick-fil-A of Huntsville, same time, same great bat channel here on 101.7 KSAM and here live at Chick-fil-A. On the count of 3, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big 1, 2, 3 sting 'em Hornets. Let Montgomery know that Hornet Nation's coming down to Bear Country. 1, 2, 3.
Sting 'em Hornets.
Good night, God bless, and so long from Chick-fil-A of Huntsville.